Your actions have changed the world.
Hello, and welcome back to the world of assassination and the trending contracts. And today's contract, Hitman W.O.A+plus Whittleton Creek, set in Whittleton Creek, and the contract ID is on the screen now for anyone who wishes to have a crack at it, and has been supplied to us today courtesy of Psychotech. So on to our briefing. Imagine if there were harder difficulty levels that added more targets. So moving on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them with no stipulations on how we dispatch them or what we wear whilst we do so, so we have a free map. So for today's challenge, we'll be starting at the default location, and we'll be bringing with us our ever trusty lockpick, a lethal syringe, and we'll have the emetic gas grenade stored up in the park shed, along with our silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, we are going to make our way directly to the park shed, and we are going to retrieve our gas grenade, and that will come in handy a little bit later on. From here we're going to make our way into the wilderness behind Nolan Cassidy's house. Now for some reason, during all of my practice runs, I was able to get in here without anyone spotting me. So we're just going to quickly grab that lethal frog. But this time round, and every time I tried recording, this gentleman would spot me and come looking. So we're going to utilize that, as he's already in the bushes and we won't have to wait for him to finish his conversation. So we're just going to select our lethal syringe, and while he's still deep in the bushes, we're going to jab him in the back. So 1 down, 4 to go, and we're going to move on now to the Wilson's property and our next target, who is currently right there, you can see, along with her husband, I'm assuming, and they are going to make their way around the side of the Wilson's property and into the garden area before entering back through the house. So we're just going to plant ourselves by the back door. We're going to select our gas grenade, and when our target and her husband come through the door, we're going to throw the gas grenade at their feet. They will both get sick, and hopefully the husband will go to the right, which he did not do, and our target will make her way to a bathroom. Now, as I said, I was hoping that the target would make her way upstairs, so we're just going to use instinct real quick, check no one is passing the window as we dunk our target into the toilet there. If someone is passing the window, just let them go past before eliminating your target, as they are liable to look in through the window and spot you. So once our second target has been dealt with, we're going to make our way upstairs. We're going to interrupt our friend here, and he will turn to leave the room, and before he exits we can pounce on him, render him unconscious, and take his outfit. We're now going to set up the barbecue and lure in our primary target, Mr. Cassidy. So we're going to head straight back down the stairs, out into the garden and over into the Hanson's garden, and we're going to borrow their propane cylinder from their barbecue and replace it into the Wilson's barbecue. So once we have that, we can just hop back over the fence and we can make our way over to Mr. Wilson, or Richard, and we're going to add the propane cylinder to the barbecue. There you go, mate, now get cooking me a burger. We're going to take up our position here by the hors d'oeuvres or fries, and we're going to add our lethal frog to it. At this point, Mrs. Wilson is going to give a long speech. Nolan Cassidy will arrive. Mrs. Wilson and Nolan Cassidy will engage in a conversation, and once all of that has played out, Nolan Cassidy will approach us, and we can then serve him with the hors d'oeuvres. So once we've managed to get his attention, we're going to move away at a safe distance while he samples the goods, and once he drops like a tree, nice and slowly, we can then move on to our next target, our remaining two, and our next target will be located in Helen West's house. So we're just going to head straight out of the Wilson's property and around the map to Helen West's house. Now be aware, we are going to pass a couple of other servers, one at the muffin stand and one at the muffin van. Both will be enforcers. So we're just going to give them both a nice wide berth there, and we're going to make our way into Helen West's property by jumping over the fence. We're going to make our way down into the basement. We're going to lockpick our way inside, and in here we will find a vial of lethal poison just to our left here. We're going to grab that, and then we're going to overflow the sink, and that will distract Helen West when she comes down here. Now, to get Helen West down here a little bit quicker, we're going to make our way up into the West property, and we're going to try and trigger a conversation between Mr. Burton and Mrs. West, which we have managed to do. He's going to invite her out to the muffin stand to help with the sales. Once that conversation plays out, Helen West will make her way down to the basement. She will get distracted by the sink, and when she approaches the sink, we can then get behind her, render her unconscious. We'll leave her body here, and we're going to make our way up to the kitchens. Now, Mr. Burton has apparently left the property, but he will return rather shortly. We're going to make our way around towards the garage door here, select our silenced pistol, and await the return of Mr. Burton, or James, or Jimmy, or Jim, whatever he prefers. It doesn't really matter. So he's going to stand here checking his clipboard for a few moments before he moves off to the corner of the kitchen, and it's at that point we are going to eliminate him so that his body is hidden from the patrolling CIA agent who is currently posing as a gardener, who will come and use the toilet periodically. So once Mr. Burton is in position, we can shoot him with an invisible bullet and then shoot him in the head, because that first bullet definitely hit its target. So one more target to go, and our final target is Janus. So we're going to make our way back around to the Hanson's property, which is the house with the boat outside, and we are going to make our way through the secret passage into Janus's property, and we will have a fair amount of waiting around in this area. So we're just going to make our way straight to the Hanson's garage, lockpick our way into the garage, being aware that the postman is in attendance at this property at the moment, so we need to move relatively quickly so that we're not spotted. That was easy enough. We're going to make our way down into the basement, lockpick our way into what I consider to be a rather small library. Someone who definitely likes their books and keeps them very secure. So we're going to access the secret tunnel here and don the Janus bodyguard outfit, and then make our way through the tunnel, and we're going to open the secret passage entrance on the far side. We're just going to wait for the bodyguard in the basement here to move away, We will render him unconscious and hide him away. It's not strictly necessary, but we do want to take out the surveillance system while we're down here. So we're just going to wait for him to move away, follow him down until he gets near the closet provided, render him unconscious, and then deposit him inside. And now we are free and clear to just eliminate the surveillance system. We can do this without rendering the guard unconscious, but it is slightly easier to get rid of him first. So it would appear that Janus and Gunther are currently upstairs. It looks like they have just arrived. So we're going to make our way up the stairs, avoiding the enforcer, and around into the study. And we're going to wait for Janus and his bodyguard to leave before we make our way into the bedroom area. So Janus is making his way downstairs. He will be followed by Gunther, and we're just going to wait for the enforcer in the corridor to move away. It shouldn't take him very long. He has a very short routine. He doesn't actually go anywhere. He just sort of turns around and walks a few steps. So once he has finally turned around, we can make our way into Janus's bedroom, and we're going to add our lethal poison to his breathing apparatus here. And at this point, if you so wish, you can exit the property and wait at the nearest exit. For the purposes of the video, as usual, I will be sticking around to witness the elimination. So eventually Janus and Gunther will both return, and once Janus realizes he has no cigarettes, he will sit in the chair and he will take some of his oxygen, which we have enriched. And all we have to do is wait for him to kick the bucket and for Janus to clear, Gunther to clear up the mess. So there goes Janus, and that is our final target dealt with. We're just going to wait for Gunther to remove Janus, and then we're going to make our way to the nearest available exit, again avoiding the enforcer in the corridor out here or on the landing. We've taken care of the surveillance system, so we can head straight out the front door, and unfortunately the nearest available safe exit will be the bus stop exit, which is on the far side of the map. Thankfully it's only a small map, and it will only take us a few moments to get there. So we're just going to head straight to the bus stop and jump on the bus. So there we go, one more trending contract taken care of, and we have confirmation all of our targets were eliminated according to plan, and we get our Silent Assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.